Hi, everybody. Well, what is happening in the U.S., in Washington, D.C., I will talk about it because it has an impact, it's really impact for the whole world. Another thing today I would like to mention is the situation in Hong Kong. And of course, all forces behind the happening. So let's start with the American situation. We all know that most media report now that Joe Biden, officially he is the president-elect, yeah, and this is also true, yeah, officially. But you see, the thing is was the election a fair election? Was there any irregularities, or was there any unfair, hidden manipulation? If you ask me, I say yes. Of course, I don't have evidence, but I'm quite convinced that it has been a lot of unfair manipulation, okay? And I think Donald Trump also is pretty convinced. And as I can see a person like Donald Trump, yeah, when he sees that his opponents has won the election through a kind of, through the help of manipulation. Either he manipulated, his opponent, or someone helped him to manipulate. It doesn't matter. But the fact is, as I can see, Donald Trump is a person, he will never accept it when he believed that it was not fair. And he is a fighter against unfairness. So I'm sure, yeah, sooner or later, he will, turn the things around again. I'm quite sure. It has been like that in the past 4 or 5 years, yeah? And how he's going to do it, I don't want to speculate, yeah? But I just look at the person that he doesn't give up, yeah? And he said it, I will never give up. And he will not, he also said, which I think is probably true, that he's fight not to be a president, but he cannot accept that if the whole election was unfair, so that the Constitution of America was in danger. And someone by breaching the Constitution of America and to become a president, if that is allowed, then we have really a dark future. And I totally agree with him. Yeah. So I'm not fighting for Trump, but I also fight for justice. So I also see that it is a danger for the world if we accept an election which is based on breaching the Constitution. Okay. So, my dear friends, I think we should not be surprised if some surprises come in the near future. So much about the American situation. But you see, what happened to America is you cannot disconnect it from what happened in China. We are living in a global world. The Chinese Communist Party, by the way, I think they have been celebrating on all that they have managed to make, starting from the COVID-19 epidemic to probably involved in also, or at least supporting those people who manipulate the election and get rid of President Trump that they hate. Okay, so that's why I say I'm sure, because you know that I mentioned in my previous episode, CCP has been pretty successful by infiltrating the American society and also the European, through bribing and other corruption method. Yeah, it is for me very clear. I told you it's not a theory. I myself was a target for corruption. So I know what I talk about. I'm not exaggerating at all. They are bribing everywhere in the world as long as they think they need it. And they believe that there is no people with high moral in this world. If they are if they have high moral, then they just pretend to be. So it's a very dangerous way of thinking. Their moral is extremely low. It's success in power game, success in money game, that count. So what method you use to come to your success is not an issue. So, and this is very, very dangerous. So what happened in China is, if you look at CCP, why they celebrate? Look, they spread the epidemic in the world. All the government in the world are busy with the epidemic. Yeah, from Donald Trump to a Japanese leader, the same. Everybody in the whole world. And I said it in a previous episode that I think the title of it is called "Plundering a Burning House." Yeah, someone set a fire. The epidemic is like a fire, a global fire. And then last time I talked about the plundering, I focus on the economic plundering. They spread this epidemic destroyed the economy of the West, and many companies are in crisis, and then they can buy all these companies that they want to buy, high-tech companies particularly, to a very low price. Okay, so that was the plundering economically. And actually, parallel to the plundering economically in the burning house, they have been also doing political plundering. Yeah, look, already in August, when the whole Western world was busy in fighting the epidemic, what happened? Jimmy Lai, the owner and CEO of one of the very few still independent media in Hong Kong, Jimmy Lai, was arrested. Yeah? And they tried to silence him. Jimmy Lai, who runs this Apple Daily, together with Epoch Times, are the only independent media in Hong Kong who dare to criticize CCP, who dare to protest that CCP has been breaching their promise for Hong Kong, 50 years no change, and then they are trying everything after only 23 years. Yeah. So, and I can tell you, CCP would love to do the same thing against Epoch Times, to arrest the CEO of Epoch Times in Hong Kong. How come that they haven't done it yet? Well, you see, that's a big difference, because Epoch Times is much more international than Apple Daily. Apple Daily is basically a pure Hong Kong media. They are not seen anywhere. But Epoch Times is seen in, I think, many countries. At least they have 21 different language versions and have 30 countries where they have offices and being active in operating. And because English is very common language, I think their English version is read by many people in the world. So attacking Epoch Times have another dimension for the CCP to deal with than Apple Daily. So, but they don't give up. They will do it. They're just waiting for a good chance. So what happened is they will create more turbulence in the West. The more turbulence in the West, the more busy will government in the West, and that will give them more chance to suppress their people. So all this arresting from Jimmy Lai, I think it was in August 2020, and then you have what happened is you have I think Joshua Wong in September. He was also arrested. Joshua Wong is you can say the protest leader in Hong Kong, a young guy since 2014, when he was, so to say, a leading figure of the umbrella movement. He was, I think, only 20 years old. And now he's something like 25, 26. Yeah. So he was arrested and later sentenced to more than 13 months prison, just because, according to the Chinese government, that he has been illegally organizing protest action or whatever. It's crazy. And also, 12 young people tried to flee from Hong Kong to Taiwan and also will get arrested. Yeah, and they are still arrested. Well, two of them, because they are under 18 years old, so it's right now returned to Hong Kong. But then they are charged also in Hong Kong as people under 18. And I think, if I'm not wrong, not long time ago, I think it was exactly the same day when the turbulence day of Congress in Washington, D.C., the same day, the 6th of January, they arrested 55 legislators, basically members of parliament, 55. All those the communists don't like, Crazy. Just take it like using the new so-called national security law, that their opinion, their talking, and so on are endangering the security of China. So, and not only that, quite recently they arrested 11 people, and one of them, I think, is even a famous lawyer, because they have been helping these 12 young guys to flee to Taiwan. I mean, you can see a series of arrests. And all these arrests are absolutely, in my opinion, based on no reason. They have no reason. From the legal point of view, from the moral point of view, no reason. It's just an act of mafia, an act of gangster, nothing else. And why they dare to do it? Why they could not do it before? Well, because they have spread successfully the epidemic in the world. Everybody are busy with epidemic, and they also successfully created a lot of turbulence in the strongest country of the world, USA. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a dangerous time. I don't like spreading, this feeling of doomsday or so. No, I mentioned in my previous episode, in human world, when what human master in technology and capability are going up and up, and moral going down and down, is very dangerous. It's a law. It's a law. It's a law of nature. So and if that continue, then I cannot be optimistic. But I hope people are waking up. More and more people wake up and understand that it is wrong to accept any evil deed just for the sake of power, for the sake of money, for the sake of fame. And if more and more people understand that, and not just talk about defending human rights, defending freedom and so on, but really do it, although they may lose economic interest, political interest, and whatever interest. So I hope our world become more and more, both the politicians and ordinary people, their way of decision should be more and more based on universal value and not based on interest, economic interest, political interest, so on. So then we will have a better world. Thank you for today. And don't forget to subscribe and like and Patreon. And you can also support us nowadays also through PayPal. Thank you. Bye-bye.